whatever you want to do, see if you can find somebody who does that well, who will teach you how to do it. And if they won't teach you personally, then study what they're doing and copy what they're doing until you figure it out yourself for your own way.
When we're learning and studying and gathering information for others, sometimes we might have a tendency to get ahead of the game and pretend like we know something. So how do we humble ourselves in that process and learn to take criticism, or learn to give ourselves self-criticism and take criticism from the person if we're trying to learn how to do something?
That was one of the hardest things for me. The hard part is when there are folks who are going to be saying things maliciously. And so how do you take whatever is good in their malice and not absorb the malice that's being expressed towards you? And that just takes time, and that just takes practice. But it's just be willing to listen and to hear what they're saying and to evaluate it. If it's a crock, then it's a crock. But if it has some value to it, then keep it. It's yours then.
How do we? Do you have advice on that, of kind of being patient with ourselves and but at the same time not being lazy, but just understanding where we are, understanding also where other people are, and helping stay on that path of self-transformation?
That's a great question. For me, one of the things that I've done is I've contemplated or meditated that phrase that I mentioned earlier, that patience is a dimension, and tried to understand what that meant. And as you say, it shouldn't be a distraction, but it should be something that assists you in dealing with the problems that you're confronting, and not a way of escaping them. So, it isn't putting off work that can be done today till tomorrow because you're exercising patience. You're just being lazy, and to be honest with yourself, in those moments when you're saying, "Am I being patient or am I being lazy?" And ask yourself, and then answer that question and answer it honestly. I think you're gonna know. This is one of the things where patience is the hard part. Lazy is the easy part, and it's hard to recognize patience and to separate it. But you will know when you're truly being patient. When it's really hard, that means you're being patient. When you want to do something else and that's easier and more fun, but you're putting that off, or there's something not as challenging, that's when you're being patient.
We were wondering, how exactly should we handle racism in modern day? Like, what is the best way we can call out racism, especially when it's within our friends or family?
I think that's the question of the day. That's going to be, I had heard one of your previous speakers say that what we have now in BLM is that we have a protest and we don't yet have a movement. I think the movement comes about when we have specific goals and objectives. I think defining those goals and objectives is precisely what your question begs. How do we deal with our parents? How do we deal with our loved ones? I've blocked 3 people on Facebook. The things that they say, I'm trying to justify or at least excuse that, no, they're not racist. But in my heart of hearts, I say, you could not say that and not be racist. If you understand the values that are involved in the position that you're taking, you must understand that they are based on some form of racism. And that's just not right. And I don't respect you for that. And you're making me question my love and affection for you. And it's kind of breaking my heart. For me, I've always thought that we need the broadest definition, the kindest, most generous definition of what it is to be an American. One that encompasses and embraces all of us. One that we can share and take pride in. And one that is positive and not negative. And I don't think that, we have a definition of what is an American. And I think the old definition, which was the white guy definition, isn't working anymore. And we're in a state of flux, waiting for a leader to come and help us come to a definition.